probably one of the coolest things is hey guys, hope you're doing well. So we recently just picked up this beautiful 96 Tahoe 2-door, and we're gonna start modding it here pretty soon. But before fully getting into that, I do want to give you guys a walk around in the vehicle as a whole and kind of show you some of the new parts we got, because we've got a lot already delivered here, and the vehicle is really, really nice. I did wash it specifically for this video because it's gonna rain tomorrow, so it'll probably get dirty, but I at least want it to look a little bit better on camera for today. So similar to what I did for the Fusion, I do have like a list of parts that I'm basically going through to customize this vehicle, modernize it a little bit more. And again, not really the biggest fan of the wheels, so we will be addressing those, just not right now. We kind of want to focus on the stuff that's a little bit more necessary at this point. As you can see, these headlights are pretty faded, so we do have some new upgraded ones, same with the tail lights. But main thing being, a lot of the parts have already been delivered. Parts for this vehicle, they're relatively in stock, being that it is the old body style. And if you missed in the end of the last video, we did remove the side steps. They were basically just kind of not really to my liking, and realistically the vehicle isn't that tall to where you actually need them. We also removed the grill guard. It's over there sitting somewhere behind the Fusion. You can kind of see it. So again, this is a 96 Chevy Tahoe 2-door. It is an indigo blue metallic. It also has blue interior. It is a 4x4, but it doesn't actually have the floor shifter. It has the push button engagement, which is definitely a really cool thing, because I think this was actually the first year that they offered it. It does have a few things that have been done to it. It does have a dual exhaust. The wheels are 22 inches, the tires are 31 inches, and probably one of the coolest things is, as you can hear, it does have a remote start. So it does have some upgrades here and there. It does have remote entry, so you can just get in just by the press of the button and lock the vehicle and unlock it from your keys, which is really cool because it is an older vehicle, so you don't actually have to mess with locking it and unlocking it that much. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. Nice little factor that makes the vehicle a lot more casual to drive and a lot more enjoyable for sure. And when you look inside, you can see the blue interior. It's in really, really good condition. Initially, I was a little hesitant at first to get a vehicle of this age that had a colored interior, because if you have to replace anything, it's gonna be a little difficult to find, but everything's really solid on here. Don't really need to replace much. Maybe just like a little few things here and there, but for the most part, it's solid. As you can see, the door panel, it does have this little trim thing that they put around it. I did remove it on the driver's side, but Yvette actually kind of likes it, so I'm leaving it here for now. But nonetheless, you can also see even the headliner in really, really good condition, as well as the seat belts and the pillars. So it's really solid in here, which made me a lot more comfortable getting a vehicle with this interior. This is definitely something I really enjoy when vehicles are a little bit more unique of a color. And then you actually get in, you can see there's the push buttons right there for 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. They also did add this aftermarket radio. However, I'm probably gonna get another one just because this one, though this one is newer, it's still pretty dated. And I know there's a lot of new technology that you could definitely get a lot of benefit from just by adding it in this. But basically it has the housing, which is a big plus because I don't need to get that myself. I did take out the floor mats so you can get a little bit of a sense of the blue carpet. Now I'm probably gonna put them back in here pretty shortly, but it is pretty cool. Like, everything's blue in here. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cup holders in here. So basically you could fill this vehicle up with people, give them all a drink, and you'd still have extra cup holders. And as you can see right here, it does have power seats and power windows, which really helps because this is actually the ideal height for drive-thrus, whereas in the Fusion I kind of have to reach up and whatnot. So being that the vehicle is a 96, there are a lot of aspects on it that are pretty dated, but it is an OBS, so there's a lot of opportunity there. So let me go ahead and show you guys some of the parts that we have and what we're planning on doing. So I think these are the taillights that I had ordered. Main thing being, on the Suburban, we actually never addressed the taillights. It was always something I really wanted to do. Ta-da! Yeah, so these already have this LED tube, which is gonna look really good. I believe that's the running light, and then these lights in the center are the brake lights. But it does already come with the resistor, because these are all, you can see these are all halogen bulbs, and these will basically be LED upgrades, so it'll be a lot brighter as well. And this is definitely what I'm excited to do. These should be the new headlights. So basically you can see it has this little tube around the edge. It's going to be the new DRL, so that way the vehicle, whenever it's actually just driving during the day, it does have a nice little bit of a glow. And then you can also see that the reflectors are a lot more reflective, so it'll look a lot better. So we'll get a lot more visibility out of it, and the goal is also to upgrade to LED bulbs, so that way we can have LEDs all around, get the most out of the projection. Because honestly, as it is right now, it doesn't actually project much light forward. It's manageable, but it could always be more. So this is gonna be the new grille. So it's basically just a replacement grille. It's in a black primer. So there's really nothing crazy about it. It's just a replacement grille. It does have this primer finish because I would like to get this painted in a gloss black. I know that a lot of people go for the color match option, but being that the headlights are a little darkened out, they're not blacked out per se, but basically they are a little bit darker. I think it'll kind of make it look a little bit more immersive. Especially considering this grille's a little dated. You can see it's chipping right there, right there. Not really that big of a deal, but nonetheless, we'll have a new one and it'll be nice and custom painted. More basically custom paint and color matching and whatnot. So here we have a new set of fender flares. Here, you pull that, I'll pull this.
But also, here.
There you go. Okay, so this is a fender flare. This is the factory style because I want to go for a little bit more of a driver look on this vehicle. I know you can get the bolted ones, but I'm not necessarily gonna go for like, you know, big beefy wheels and tires. I'm gonna go for bigger tires nonetheless, but the wheels I'll probably go a little bit smaller. There's a lot of different ways that people do these, but I do think that nice color match of the blue will look really good, and then get some wider wheels, get some thicker tires to go with it. Look pretty good, and that's definitely the look I'm going for. So whenever I look at two-door Tahoes online, they're basically one of two ways. One is that they're lowered big wheels and they look really, really good. And then the other one is that they're lifted big wheels and tires and they have an off-road presence. Now, I kind of want to bridge the gap just a little bit because I really enjoy driving this vehicle. I actually drove it to and from Austin, did not break a sweat. It was great, comfortable, reliable. It was, honestly, it did the drive really, really well. And it has a four-wheel drive, so I basically don't want to go a route that I'm basically not going to be able to use it. But I also really appreciate the fact that it's not a large vehicle, kind of more of the street presence vibe, but also give it the amenities that it would need if it were going to go off-road, just so I could do both without really having to, you know, commit to one or the other. Something I haven't seen done very often, but it is something that I really, really wanted to do because, you know, there's a lot of opportunity with the street scene with it. You know, you have the cool headlights, taillights and whatnot, but there's also a lot of opportunity with the wheels and tires you can get that can make it a really nice off-road vehicle. So basically, I don't want to delve too far into the other, just kind of like, you know, right in the middle, make it a really, really good daily driver. Because again, this is kind of going to be the counterpart to the Fusion, where I don't drive the Fusion, I'll drive this vehicle. And honestly, it's really fun to drive, it's roomy. I feel like it'll be even better once I get a bench seat in here, because it does have these nice buckets and a center console. But I think a bench seat is something I've been wanting forever, so I definitely want to do that. I just got to source it, and it's not necessarily the easiest thing to do with an older vehicle, especially in a blue color, but it's out there somewhere, and I'm sure we can find it, or find something that can work for it. Basically, wanted to give you guys a little bit of a rundown because there's a lot that I do want to do to this vehicle, and a lot of people are asking me what I'm going to do to it, and you know, you can either go one way or the other. I'm like, we'll bridge the gap and just kind of enjoy it for, you know, the vehicle that it is. So that's the game plan. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.